Hello folks, time again to do a retro CSS battle. These are daily challenges, the daily targets they call them on CSSBattle.dev. These are from September of 2023. Here's the 17th, the 18th, which has a gradient, and I have never gotten 100% on this one. And this is the 19th of September 2023. Let's get to it. Let's see what we can do. All right, what do we got here? Definitely interesting shapes, right? It seems straightforward, but the reality of these shapes is that you can't quite do this, can you? So let's do one and see how far we get. But if I can do one, then I can reflect it. So I think that's the approach I'm going to take. Let's see how far we can get just with. Let's see how far we get. All right, let's put the I kind of want to do it as a border, but I know that's not going to work, or I think it's not going to work. So what do we need to do to get this color? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fit the coloring of this. I'm going to do margin. Start with a margin of 0 on this, and I'm going to do a margin 0 on this as well. Do I need it? No, I don't need it. So let's do a width of 100. Okay, and then I am going to do a margin to put this into place. 100, 100. Let's start there. So that's too far down, too far over. 660. Okay. And then 50. And I guess we need to be taller. Yeah, we need to be taller for sure. 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just want that to fit right there. So how about that height of 180, 120, 124, 130, 130. Okay, so that's our first piece. I know that once I match this, I can create another instance of it just by adding another p tag and then doing a flop. I can either rotate it, or there's different ways to do it. Well, mostly it'll be a scale x in this case of -1. All right, so let's do this. I feel inclined to do border radius to begin with. So I'm playing with, okay, so that seems to match. And then this is too much. 30. 65. Not too bad. So then the question is, what do I need to do to get the rest of this? If we do a conic gradient, we can get a bunch of this, and then we have these two little corners to deal with, right? So let's do that. Conic gradient gets us a bunch of the way there. So let's do conic. So this color, 75%, comma, and I guess we don't need and I guess we needed the red there, not the yellow. Okay. Okay, so that's the beginning. All right, we're just moving the center of that conic gradient. It might not be a great way to do this, but we're going for it anyway. Okay, so 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 83, 82. Yeah. Okay. And then how about 70% over? 75% over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we've got that shape. What do we do with that now? And then if I put a pink in the background here, I think we understand our task a little bit better. All right, so that means I need a few different things. I need to create this top curve, this curve, and that curve. So let's do the hard ones first. Okay, so radial gradient. At which is a circle, at 100%, 100%, transparent on the inside, and then yellow at the outside. And I'm going to put that at 0, 0, and I'm going to have a size to it, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. And no repeat. So you can kind of see it over the pink, and I'm going to put, oh, now I'll make that black just because, so we can see that. Oh, no, that's not actually know where that curve come from, is it? No, it's not. All right, so let's move that down so you can see it. There it is. Ha, ha, ha. All right. If that border radius is 15 pixels, then this needs to be 15 pixels, yeah? There it is. And that means that this needs to be 15 pixels in size, height and width. And then we need to move it down, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. There's our little, that's a lot of code for a little guy. Just a lot of code for a little guy. All right, but it works. And so we will not poo-poo that. All right, we need another yellow cover, and this one is he the same, and he's just at a different location? Yeah, I think he is. So his location is over, and then up 10. Actually, is he 0? There he is. So yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. All right, so that's the little gradient, and we'll call that variable L. And that's the same thing twice. So we variabilize him, and we say var L. And here again, var L. And I can't help but notice, but this is also the same. Can we variabilize the size and position? We'll call it S and try it. Can we? I don't know. Never tried. That's sort of the joy of this. Yep, that works. I didn't know you could do just a sequence of strings and make that work, but I'm very pleased that we can. All right, so then lastly, we need another gradient, a radial gradient, and which is going to be just the interior curve of the red, and that's going to be transparent to red, whoops, to the red. We need a comma, and that's a circle at 0, 0, 0, 0. Is that right? And 10 pixels. And we need to not repeat on that one either, do we? All right, so we've got, let's say that's, if that, okay, so we have, maybe that's 65. If that's 65, then we have the math that we want. Looks familiar. And then no repeat. And then we got to move that into place. Seven, 8, 85, and then over. 2 far over. 4, 3, 35. And we remove black as our default. Oh, nope, that's not it. It's not 65, is it? No, it's not. All right, but in principle, you can see what I'm getting at. All right, yeah. So of course that's a smaller inherent radius there. It's not a concentric. So how about 35? And then we move it over. And then down. Okay. Is that it? Well, now I'm counting my chickens before they hatch. I haven't done the second one, which I do need to do. All right, so let's make a second one. And you can't see him. Why can't you see him? Because he's got margins on him. So var of a margin dash m or that default. And so for the second one, m, we're going to say minus, and then you can see him, 2, and we need multiple numbers there to move him up, 2, 2, 3, 4, okay. Okay. And to flop him, we do a transform scale x. On the x-axis, we are reversing. There he is. And then we need to adjust that number. What's that? I don't remember this. So we are perfectly aligned. Except that one's a little bit shorter, isn't it? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, so I think that means that the width is a little different. All right, so let's make the width a little different, huh? Like by 129. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious and delightful, and kind of horrible too. But so how do we cover that? So it's too wide. Yeah, it's just mine is. Oh, mine needs to be a little wider. I don't know what I need there. But that's great. That's great. It's like a little joke. It's like a little joke to make it just insidiously hard. All right. Okay. So that's the joke. This is almost like a spoiler. Like you think, oh, these are two very straightforward shapes. No, they're not. They're different. They're very different. And that's a lot of code. We've written a lot of code to get this shape. Okay. So options. People, what do we got? We've never. this feels a little bit. Let's do another one. Why not? So the third one, and we'll call this one Y. Let's not change that width. Yeah, so we're not changing the width. So the Y one, we are going to set an M. And let's set the margin 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 200. Okay. And then we need move him into place. 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Okay. 14 again. And actually 15. And then, is that number 240 again? No, it's 210. No, 18. Okay. There it is. So all I need to do is clip. So I've got 3 here. Could I do it with shadow? No, I can't do it with shadow because that's not the true shape. Is not the true shape. But I could clip path it. I think I'm going to clip path it, even though, that's silly. But that's really all I need. All I need is the bottom corner of that guy. So if I do a clip path with a polygon, and okay, so just so I can see what I'm doing. Because this does have a background of transparent, mostly. If I do a background color, there you can see, that's the additional one. So now when I do my clip path, I can see what I'm doing a little better. But I think I only need 3 points on the polygon. So let's say 100%, 50%. 100%, 100%. So that's I'm doing the middle of the right-hand side, and then the bottom right corner, and then middle of the bottom, so 50%, 100%. And I don't see anything. 100%, 50%, 100%, 100%. Okay, so what have I got going on there? Oh, because it's backwards. That's why. Hilariously. Because I flipped it. So it needs to be flopped. So that's actually, I want 0, 50%. There it is. And 0, 50%, and then that's what I want actually. And then if I remove this background color, then that's it. Oh, that's silly. I like that though. That is a fiendish challenge. So that's 100%, and not a great score. It's just right at 600, just the minimum threshold. So I'm going to minify this and call it good because that is hilarious. That made me laugh. It made me laugh, and I enjoy that very much. Is there a better way to do this? Yeah, probably. I think this must be very similar to what I did before. I kind of remember encountering this before and not finding it so funny. But today I find it really funny. Like that's a good joke. You create this scenario where you have to create this complex shape, and yeah, you've got multiple ways you could do it. I could do it with 3 elements, and then it's about placing those elements. You could do that. So, have I resubmitted? I think I've done all the resubmissions that I'm going to do. All right, so that's slightly better. I'm kind of curious about what other solutions I had. It's not a lot better than my best solutions, and that's legit. All right. So this is Moby Dick. This is the white whale here. I've done never gotten a 100% solution. I have submitted a lot of them. All right, so let's take it on fresh. I feel like I want 2 elements to represent this purple background, right? Actually, even better, let's just do 1 element and then do a box shadow. So thing number 1, we do a margin of 0, okay, and we do a width of 100, and then we do a margin of 0, 100. Okay, and then we do a width of 300. Okay, so then that's that. And then let's do a box shadow of 200 pixels, minus 100 pixels, 200 pixels. Yeah, there it is. And then the color. And that's the beginning. That's just the beginning. Then, seemingly, all we need is a linear gradient. And maybe it's this simple. Maybe in all of my work, all of my tries, I didn't know what I was doing. And I think it's 90 degrees. Through to this color. That's it, right? That seems like all it is. If I submit again 100%, I will be surprised and delighted. And what was all the trouble? So that says that I'm at 60% match. So that's like no good, right? That is a terrible score. So what is wrong with that? Do I need more numbers? I've tried all the numbers. So let's create a variable. So we've got 2 color stops here. Are they at something like 20, 25%, 75%, rather than at 0 and 100%? Let's try that. And then is there an 99.8% match? Okay, so all right, let's create an offset variable. --o is 0% offset. 0%. And then this is going to be a calc. Calc of 25% plus bar offset. --o. And this would be 75% minus that offset, so that if I make that offset like 20, then you see a much harsher line. And then, why is this at an angle? And this is hard to see. So if I do like what, like 1%, and then it's just a matter of submitting, huh? So I have I was at 25 and 75. I was 98.9. That's also 98.9. So let's do 5%. Better or worse? Better or worse? Far worse, so that's worse. How about a -5? Terrible. I think this is not going to get done today. 10. That's far worse. $78. Okay, so if I do 0, then we're going to be back to our 98.9%. %. How about 45 degrees? Or how about, like 85 degrees? Is that better or worse? Better or worse? And I've never had the patience to, I've definitely gone at this and basically using this technique and just never gotten there. I don't know how to do this one, and that is my admission. Painful as that is. How about, I'm just going to keep changing these numbers a little bit and seeing. So that's worse. So it feels like roughly 25%, 75% is more correct, but clearly there's something I'm missing there. And that would be consistent with, like, oh, this is all solid, this color. Well, so what if we did do that? Let's say we created an element. So what happens if we do we get the same value plus, so how, I think that implies that this block is maybe where the whole thing is contained. In which case, if we do a hard edge, we do 50%, and then 0. Okay, so that flattens that out. We don't need our offset anymore. And let's make a second element. And put that right in the middle. Okay, so that second element, we're going to say P plus P. And I'm going to give it a big, crazy color background of red. And I want his margins to be 0. Or rather minus, what is it, 12 or something, minus 15, minus 16, and then the width, we're going to have it be 200. Is that correct? I'm going to put a margin of 0 on this. There we go. That should force that to be. Okay, so now let's do the linear gradient here. We're going to put the same linear gradient on this element. So that's equivalent, and you can see that outline. If I add the outline, solid pink, there it is. So that's my guy. If I remove the numbers, do I get a different gradient that is going to match? I don't know. It seems unlikely, but it's something I don't think I've ever tried before. 99.8%. Highly frustrating. And then what if you did something like add these numbers again? So is that a little more extreme? Is that better? I think it's probably worse. But we're creating color stops. Yeah, that's worse. So then, is this a matter of changing the angle in here? Let's create a subtle angle and see if we get better. So rather than 90, we'll do 85. That's not better. How about 95? Rather than 90. No. Yeah. I don't believe I've ever gotten to 99.9% either. Yeah, 99.8 is about the max. Is this a browser limitation? I don't know, but Safari can't get there, and I can't get there. So this remains undone. Frustratingly so. I will leave a note in the notes here to indicate that. And I don't know how to solve it. I don't know if it's by design. I don't know what the story is, but it's a frustrating one, but an interesting one, and definitely gets at something core to the algorithms, I think, because visually that's pretty darn close, and it seems like the thing that's different is that gradient. So something about the color stops and the way they interact and whether they need to be at an angle. I've tried all those things. Would dithering help? I don't know, but that's where I'm stopping on this guy. So no, I have not solved it. Thanks for playing along. All right, next. All right, so this comparatively, this is pretty simple. All right, so I think that this guy has, we've got border radii, and I know how to do two elements that are reflected. So I think once again I will start with the hard part first, which is the little line between them. And that will be very comforting after the the difficulty of the prior one to do a conic gradient. Okay, so 75% or 270 degrees, 0, and then we change our at value to be some number. Like 20 pixels, 100 pixels over, 20 pixels down, comma, and then we move him into place. By adding numbers here. 50 pixels, 50 pixels, 100 pixels, 40, there we go, 100, 40, and that's fine. That's fine. So, and I think we only need do we only need that? 20 pixels, 20 pixels. So then we go 200, 180, 190. And that's our middle guy. All right, next. I think we do want to set a width. We'll set a width. 100, and then the height is maybe 140 or something. And then using margins, I'm going to set margins on this guy. Margin of, and the second one we'll need to set margins too, but I feel like this technique has been serving well. And really we just need, 100, or what? setting these margins to put this into place. 75, 76, 75. And then the height needs to be a little different. There it is. Next, let's do it. Let's do the, rather than do a transform, we'll do a border radius up to on the second one. So I'm leaping ahead. 40 pixels, 20 pixels. Maybe that's 25. That's 50. There it is. And then last one is what? 25 pixels, 50 pixels. That's it. And then we've got a second one. I think that border radius is, so we'll variabilize that as well. R, dash dash R, comma, dash dash R, 25 pixels, 50 pixels, 50 pixels, 25 pixels. On the second one, and then we need to set a margin to make him go upward. His margin's what? Minus 200. Where is he? I don't know. Oh, because I haven't, whoops. I haven't put it in. I haven't pasted. There it is. Okay, so vertical, and then horizontal. 201, 2, 22, 225. And that sure looks like we're going to get a match. All right, super fun. Of course, other than the incredible difficulty of the gradient one. Unit replace. Yeah. Let's resubmit. But very enjoyable. That's a better score than I've gotten before on this. They look like lungs to me. You know, my domain name is artlung.com because I used to be a respiratory therapist. I didn't always code for a living. But these guys look like lungs to me. I guess they could be kidneys as well. Strictly speaking, if they were lungs, the trachea and the midline, the main bronchi would have a more like an upside down Y here, right? But and really, if they're kidneys, then they would have two lines going down. Anyway, it's interesting. Maybe it's a set of eyeglasses for Pikachu, something like that. All right, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Sorry I couldn't get to 100% on this troublesome one, but it was fun to look at afresh. And this guy, devilishly clever, very fiendish, and really cool. Good challenges, though. Good challenges that exercise your CSS skills. Take care out there. Bye-bye.